Welcome to episode number 153 of What Does This Button Do? It's an educational show about smartphones and tablets with us, Geeks on Tour. Today, we'll be chatting with our friends from Techno RV about our favorite apps. But first, Chris has a quick tip. What do you have, Chris?
Well, this one comes from having talked to people at the rally this week, and one person came up and wondered why their phone was so slow. And it didn't take me long to discover that it's because their phone only had 8 gigabytes of storage space. So the quick tip is 8 gigabytes enough? Spoiler alert. The answer is no.
No.
So here is a sampling of inexpensive phones. By inexpensive, I mean less than the $700, $800, $900 that we geeks like to pay these days. We did one episode on is a $59 phone good enough? And it was surprisingly good, except I discovered by buying a $59 phone from Walmart that 8 gigabytes doesn't cut it. Anyway, anyhow.
No way, no how.
So 8 gigabytes, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by 8 gigabytes in a minute. So notice that one on the first one on this screen. These are all from Walmart. You can get a smartphone, and it does everything for $40. But look at that 8 gigabyte number. That's what you cannot do. The next one over is $99.99, and it has 16 gigabytes. And that's okay. But if you really get into using your phone, you're going to fill that up too. 32 gigabytes, the one on the right. And this is surprising. You can actually get relatively inexpensive iPhones now if you're willing to get an older model from Walmart with Straight Talk, $179, 32 gigabytes. That's what I have on mine, and it's okay. The next phone I get will have 64, or 128, but 32 is definitely doable.
Mine lets me put the additional card in it, which is great.
Okay, yeah.
So I put a 128 in mine.
I'll ask you about that in a minute.
Okay.
Let's hold off while an RV is going by. Oh, we didn't mention that. We're doing this outside today at the RV park. So how to find the storage on your current phone. I do have that inexpensive one I bought from Walmart, and let me show you how you find the number that I'm talking about. So on an Android phone, you need to get into settings. I swipe down from the top and then tap the gear, and then it's storage. So storage and USB. And this one has 7.9 full, and I don't even use this phone. I don't have any apps on here, and it is taking up 7.9 gigabytes out of 8. This just won't work. Now, this one does have an SD card, but it's been my experience that you really can't put apps on it. There's a lot of apps that don't let you put them on the SD card at all. And even the ones that do are still, they still have to have a footprint in the phone's
itself,
memory. Right. So unless your storage is taken up with photos and videos, I don't find that a card helps that much.
I specifically got it for that reason, for videos, for us doing videos because we do a lot on the phone for the business, and it was strictly for that. Because when I was doing it, I was filling up my memory too quickly, and it allows me to just pull it out easily. So.
That it is great for storing large files.
But that's all I store on it is just the camera.
So people think, oh, well, can't I get an 8 gigabyte and get a 32 gigabyte card? And now I have a 40 gigabyte phone, right? No.
Not really.
It doesn't work that way. Okay, and then on the iPhone, we show you where that number is. And you tap on settings. And let me make sure I'm at the beginning. So this is the beginning of settings. And it's under general and iPhone storage. And this one has 32 gigabytes total, and it is using 25.7. So this does work But I'll tell you, there's a feature on your iPhone that will automatically uninstall apps that you haven't used in a while. And I have a lot of apps that are uninstalled. So that's why I say I would want 64 next time. All right, so that's my quick tip. If you're thinking about getting a new phone, make sure that it is much higher than 8 gigabytes.
I have 256.
No.
Yeah, it does, but he's only using 37 gigs.
What a
Well,
bragger.
my last phone I had, I experienced the problems that you're talking about, and I guess I probably had maybe a 64, and I was like, that will never happen again. So
I don't even
it
think
was
you had
128 or
64.
256, and I'm like, going for the
Yeah,
256.
I didn't even realize it went to 256.
Hey, 512 is coming.
Yeah.
You know it is.
Wow.
So, yeah. Well, hi, everyone. I'm Jim, and here together with my wife, Chris, we're Geeks on Tour. Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And how do you learn about these amazing devices?
We are geeks who teach, and we believe that the best way to learn is in bite-sized pieces on a regular basis. So we came up with this weekly show where we teach something. We pick a topic every week, and we do a show on it. And all of our materials are collected on our website, geeksontour.com. Under weekly class, that's where you'll see all the archives of these shows. And then under blogs and news and tutorials and Q&A, you'll find all sorts of other stuff.
That's great. If I can find my mouse, we'll be doing wonderful. Where are we now, Chris?
I don't know. It was somewhere in the South, Sevierville, Tennessee, at the RVTravelClub.com, teaching seminars and giving one-on-one help. And so this is a rally, and every once in a while we get to meet up with friends at rallies. And our friends here with us today are Eric and Tami Johnson from Techno RV. Now I got to give a little bit of history, and then I'll let you introduce yourselves. We're going to talk about our favorite apps today. There's no real beginner's lesson like normal. But just have the tech. We call ourselves Techno Geeks. We're Geeks on Tour. They're Techno RV. And we got to be good friends with the original owners of Techno RV, Phil and Tracy May. If you've been following us for any length of time, you maybe remember Phil and Tracy. And we actually had our own rallies, Techno Geek Learning Rally. And now the company has been sold and is owned by Eric and Tami. And I didn't think it was
How
possible.
come you got 2012 there twice?
Uh-oh.
Tammy was still in high school.
That should
Very
be 2018. I didn't think it was possible to find better friends, more fun people than Phil and Tracy, the original owners of Techno RV. But they found them.
Yeah.
So here's Eric and Tami. I want you to say a little bit about what you do now.
Yeah, absolutely. We bought the business, as you said, from Phil and Tracy in 2015. And TechnoRV.com is all about technology products for RVers. And so we
And now for truckers, too.
Yeah, soon to be
and now
truckers.
moving into truckers as well. And so when we bought the business from Phil and Tracy, I had a conversation with them about, hey, what are some things that you would do just kind of right off the bat? And they gave us some of their advice as far as maybe changing the website up and some different product offerings. And so we pretty much went right to work and changed a lot of the product offerings. We completely changed the website and the structure of the business and how it operates. And so now we travel around the United States, going to RV shows and rallies still. And then most of our business is online at technorv.com.
And like you guys, the education portion of it's really important to us. So we make sure that if you come to our website, we give you the information you need on why you might need some of the products we sell, what problems they would solve. And then we help you, once you buy one, to use it and make sure that you're getting the most out of your money. So.
Tammy used to be a curriculum writer. And so she was all in education. And so we thought that it just made sense to utilize that strength in our business. And so to her point, We have a lot of information guides about all of our products. And then when someone buys, we send them the learning series. And it really helps to make sure that the buyer is successful with the products that they buy from us.
I think once you're a teacher, you're always a teacher.
Right. I'm sure that that's why we relate so much.
It's hard to let that go, you know.
Me and Jim are riding y'all's coattails.
Yeah. We know where the real talent is, don't we?
And what I love about why you bought the business and how you have worked it to take off is that you don't lose sight of the fact that your goal is to have fun.
Yes, we do schedule rallies, and we all are always working from the road, but we do always, we bought the company to fund our travels. You know, that's the main goal. So we do have a lot of playtime on the road. We've done all 48 states in the past 4 years. We're doing Alaska for 3 months next summer. So we still play very hard out here and protect that time to travel.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
play very hard, but work very hard too. These
smart,
kids have more energy. You know, these kids have more energy. So we're always really impressed with what we see you guys doing.
We really are.
Thank you.
So what we're here for today, and I don't know if we're going to end up being a shorter show than normal or a longer show than normal, is to talk about our favorite apps. And we're going to do it roundtable fashion. And I've asked Eric and Tami and all four of us to come up with one favorite old time go-to app. You know, something that we use every day and could not live without. And we'll go around the table and do that.
Okay.
Hi, Jean. And one favorite, new, exciting, fun app. And we'll go around the table and talk about that. And then we don't have any notes on it on the screen now, but there will be links and notes in the show notes that I write up afterwards. So who wants to go first?
Let's start down at that end.
Okay, I'm not like a big app as it relates to a lot of the cool new things that are out that I know that you all will be sharing, but I use a lot of apps for our business. We running our business from the road. We have to keep up with it, and there's just a lot of really neat apps that help us stay in touch with employees and our warehousing and support and things like that. And one such app, I can put it here if you want me to.
Yeah.
Is I'll just show you just kind of what it looks like here. It's called Slack. Hopefully that will.
Oh, I have absolutely heard of Slack, and I don't understand what it is. So this is great.
So it's called Slack, and I'm just trying to be careful here not to pull up my latest Slack. And so basically it is a communication tool, almost an internal communication tool for our business. We have back at the warehouse support person. So while we're on the road, if they need to just quickly chat with us and you need multiple people involved in that chat, then you can do that through this app called Slack. It feels like texting really, except it's more of kind of an internal,
kind of an intranet, a team.
It is. It's got a team feel to it. You can attach files to it, so you can do a little bit more than you could, I guess, with just texting, because you can actually attach.
And it gives us one point in place to kind of go do all that.
Everything.
Yeah, and so we still text and things like that, but as far as business documents and things like that and transferring those across an app like this, Slack's done a great job for us, and we utilize it really daily.
It's important to keep the work kind of separate, and that allows us to keep everything work related into one messaging.
So to see emails from other people on your team, you don't go to your email at all. It's all inside Slack.
95% of our work related conversations
is just a live stream
thread through
that we keep going, and it's got some search functions in it also that make it really easy to go back and find information and conversations that may have had. If we're talking about a particular customer, if we know that person's name, then we can go in and find out, kind of what were the conversations that we had around that. And so anyway, it's for us, it's made it really convenient to just be able to feel like it makes us feel like we're kind of at the office when we're not really at the office, because if I know if Tyler's back in the support office, then I know I can just shoot him a note, almost like I'm just sticking my head in his office.
So obviously it is primarily for business, but I could imagine it being used like for a club or for a group of people that are traveling together, or
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, you can invite as many team members, and we have a Slack going between the two of us. We have a thread going. We have one that everyone that works for us is in one. And so you can actually just kind of have, side conversations if you're not wanting to have, but it's very similar to texting. It just allows you to do some more attachments.
let's just show them the icon.
Yeah.
One more,
let's
just
get back
to
to
say,
that.
so people
So
really know
it's
what we're
right
talking
it's
about.
right up here. It's called Slack. And
Okay, and
it's right next to my Snapchat that I use to talk to my daughter with. And, that's
They
not
won't talk to you any other way.
that's not my favorite app, but I do use it.
Cool.
Yeah, Snapchat is one that, okay, okay.
We learned our kids answer quicker if we Snapchat them than if we say Facebook message them or even text. That's their go-to thing. So a lot for Allie, it's my daughter. It's a quick way to get her to respond.
And that'll change probably in a couple of weeks.
Yes, I can imagine. It might have already changed in the last.
Right.
Messaging is what drives me the craziest, because you can't decide what messaging app you like. You have to use whatever the person you want to communicate with is using if you want
them to communicate.
Yes. Yeah. I think I'll go next.
Okay.
And obviously my go-to app is Google Photos. So, but
Really?
and I do use it absolutely every day. I want to show you a use I have for it that is new, is unique. And so there is my Google Photos. First, I want to take a picture. So I'm going to take a picture of a business card, Techno RV's business card. So photos can be more than for actual memories and photos, and business cards is what I'm starting to use it for. So there, I just take a picture. That is just a regular old picture. Actually, it was live. I probably should have certainly didn't need live to take a picture of a business card. Okay, so that's just taking a picture of a business card. And now what I do is I make an album for business cards. So I know how to find that business card. Yes, are there better apps for that? Yes, in fact, we showed it once before using Evernote. And Evernote is a great app. But the older I get and the more I use apps, the more I don't want to use more apps. So if I can do it with the one app that I use all the time, that's going to suit my purposes better. So here's the picture I just took. First of all, I will edit it a little bit. It looks like it's a little crooked and it needs to be cropped in a bit. That's something that Evernote will do for you automatically. And brightened up. Okay, so that's better. And then I will add it to my business card album. And I have a lot of albums. Business cards right there. Now here's the really cool part. There is a feature of Google Photos that most people have never tried. It's that button right there. Here's some. So this little button right here, the kind of square with the dot in the middle, is called Lens. And Google Lens, it will interpret the picture in front of it. In the case of a business card, it will even convert it. It shows me this is Tami Johnson. There's the phone number, the email. I can even add this to my contacts right from Google Photos. But I don't even want it in my contacts. I want to always just go to Google Photos. There I can make a phone call right there. from Google Photos. Is that cool or what?
Very cool.
And since that's in my album of business cards, that's where all of my business cards are now. So that is my, and obviously I use Google Photos for all my regular photos as well. But
I can't
That's
tell you
special.
the number of times that I've had somebody's phone number in a picture like that, and I want to call them, and I know that's what you just did there, and that's kind of what it's for. And then I'm having to like write it down somewhere else,
I know.
and then go dial the number. And when you showed me that the other day, I got so excited about it. I was like, okay, I know what to do now. That is great.
Very cool.
all right.
Well, I guess it's Tammy's turn.
You took Google Photos, so I can't do that one, although I do use it often as well. As a matter of fact, you kind of got me into using it. I do my albums now by month when we travel, and I'm now going to have a business card one. But something I use a lot is my LastPass app, and LastPass is a password bank, I guess, where you have one master password to get into LastPass, and it will save all the passwords that you have for any website. And so when I'm on my computer and I'm working, kind of like Google will, you can autofill and save passwords that way, where it'll save it.
Right.
I don't do that. I just save it in my LastPass. So, but when I get to my phone, which is really more what I work on than even my computer, I'll go and say, let's say I want to look at State Farm, and log in and check more than my bills do, or whatever the case may be. And you go to it and you're like, I don't know the password to State Farm on my phone, So LastPass allows you to have, and I think I've already put my master password in. So let's see. All right, I got to do it. That's the only password you have to remember, is that master password to get into it. And let's see. All right, so once you get in it, this is every pretty much website, account, anything I have ever, nope, not now. Okay.
Software update.
Oh, no. Oh, gosh, no,
Bane of our
cancel out of that.
existence, right?
Really?
But pretty much it is really wanting me to do a software update. So any password, any website I've ever gone to that requires you to have a username and password, I can find it on here. And let's say I want to see it. I can just view the password. I can actually launch it from here, which will make it a secure connection. But this allows me to have everything that I have access on my laptop to have access on my phone as well. So LastPass is probably one I use a lot because I do so much on my phone and I don't write passwords down. It'll also do password checks for you and tell you if you have too many that are similar. It'll remind you if you've got too many that you haven't changed in a while. It will also auto-generate a password if you really want to be secure to where you're not doing the same thing over and over again. It'll auto-generate this crazy password for you, but it's in there. So anytime I go to a website, I have a little LastPass icon, and it just fills it in for me. So I love that.
Cool. The first time we saw LastPass was with Phil during our Techno Geek Rally.
That's who we got it from.
6 years ago.
He showed it.
And we still haven't started using it.
How do you
Well,
keep up
we
with
did.
your passwords?
I started using it, but because we have so many devices that it's great for people that have a smartphone and maybe a tablet and their computer. But when you get a couple of phones and a couple of tablets and a couple of computers, and they are all, they're not always on. So we only use some of these devices and keeping them in sync was a problem. And that is
I'll bet that's gotten better, though.
I'm sure it has gotten better, and I haven't gotten back to LastPass yet. So I'm going to give it another shot once we get back to Florida.
It allows us to, as far as work. I mean, Eric and I use the phones a lot for work. If I want to share a password with maybe one of our employees, and I don't really want to give them access to the whole, I don't want them to be able to change the password or whatever, I can share sites with them, and they can actually log in and without actually having access to my password. So
Yeah,
that's nice too.
That's
So we
great.
have shared folders that they can have access to that get them into work related things, but I'm still owning their login.
Oh, cool.
What I use right now is the Chrome password manager.
Yes.
So, but that remembers every password for every website I go to. But what about apps and other things in your life that have passwords. Doesn't LastPass have a place where you can manually enter
Yes.
some?
Yes, you can. It's got form fill generator. It has a lot that I don't even use on it, but yes, it does have other functionalities that I would.
And if you want to use it on mobile, it costs, right?
I don't know if I paid when I downloaded it. I don't know. That's a good question.
I know there is a free version and there is a pay for version. I will make sure to have that in the show
I don't
notes.
know.
I think if you want to have it on
Yeah,
more than one
device,
you have to go to the pay for version, but I don't know how much.
Maybe that's why I stopped too.
All right, Jim's turn.
It's my turn. My favorite app one of my favorite apps is Dark Sky. Dark Sky is ultra local weather, and it gives you warnings about different things. But if rain is going to happen or drizzle is going to happen, it's very important for me to know that if I'm going to be outside or moving things around. So Dark Sky is my tool. It gives me forecasts, it gives me maps, and you can see the weather around, and you can even put that into motion, and it'll show you the clouds moving through. And if you're in the path of those clouds, you might want to decide to take the car instead of
walking.
Yeah,
or
the bikes,
bicycle.
the bikes.
But it goes through. You have temperature, wind if you want it. I like the wind, and notifications. So I can get notified if it's going to go below freezing, or if the wind is going to be above 9 miles an hour, so I can't fly my drone or something like that. And
isn't this the one that reminds you if the wind is calm when we're in Fort Lauderdale, so we get to go kayak diving?
That's right. So at 8 o'clock every morning, I have the notification tell me what the wind is going to be for the day.
Nice.
And it usually says the wind will be below 9 miles an hour for today.
So I didn't on your phone, severe weather alerts, does that? So when you're in an area, it's nice to have, weather alerts. Will that do that? Will that app let you know if there's a thunderstorm in the area or a tornado warning in the area or anything like that?
Sure. And it's configurable, and you can set it up that way. I also get the National Weather Service alerts too. And that's for travelers. I think that's just so important.
Does it give you local marine forecasts?
No.
Okay, but the wind. So so when y'all go out kayaking, you just paying attention.
Wind is
Right.
very important.
Yeah.
for kayaking in the ocean.
And I'll check this, and then I'll go to the marine weather on a browser and check that stuff out. So this is my general weather app that I really like to use.
What is mainly known for is being eerily accurate.
Yeah, it's going to start
your porch.
It'll start raining in 4 minutes and stop in 15 after 15 minutes, that kind of stuff.
Write that one down.
And we have to thank our friend Frank Drew
for introducing us to
that one.
All right.
I like it.
You ready for a fun one?
Yeah, Tammy, go ahead.
Don't you want to show them
I'm so boring.
Don't you want to show them your Snapchat Bitmoji?
No,
I will go next.
I'll do this. Look, I have nothing fun. Like,
you are not a phone.
But if I can just take one more minute, because I know there's a lot of people out there that that ask us like, hey, just running a business from the road, and we do it a lot there. And I know I just kind of covered that one app, but if I could just kind of scroll through here and just kind of show you like the Ring Central app, that's our phone system.
Really?
So
we know Ring Central.
Yeah, and so from here, if I wanted to make a phone call and have it show on their caller ID that it was coming from the Techno RV number, then I can go into my Ring Central app and do that. And then of course, our Bank of America I've got in here just as far as banking. What else do I have here? There's the Slack that we
have
just
10,000 emails. I know that.
What a wuss. Chris has 10 times that
That's
many.
ridiculous.
And let's see, I know there's
You
more.
use analytics.
And also for work, because we do a lot of Wi-Fi booster, cell booster type things. And I know you've talked about this before on this show, but Open Signal I use a good bit to see where the local cell tower is.
Go ahead and
My speed test
show
app.
that if you can.
So this is Open Signal, and basically whenever you open it up, it'll tell you just like which carrier you're on, which I'm on AT&T right now. And then if I just tap on, normally it shows an arrow pointing in the direction of
It's searching location.
the local cell tower, but it's searching. And then if I want to scroll out, if I have enough signal to do this, it will actually show me the cell towers in the area. Like here's a local cell tower over here.
All right, and then can you tap on it and get more
Yep.
info, or that?
Well, it just tells me it's an AT&T tower. And
But for some of our cell boosters, they're directional, and the directional antenna has to be pointed to the cell tower.
Right.
So that helps in that situation.
Open Signal.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, it's just our Google Analytics I have on here. But anyway, it's just a lot of work apps that I have. So it's really nothing exciting, but it helps it helps me be able to travel and kind of keep up with the business.
Well, yeah, you are very representative of a whole new class of people who are RVing,
Yeah.
the younger people who are running their business from the road. And that's great. That's a great thing about that. And there's even a whole conference for running business on the road, right?
There's the RV Entrepreneur Summit. It's March. I think it's the second or third week in March in Lake Gunnersville, Alabama this year. Heath and Alyssa Paget put it on, and it is, I think they sold 250 tickets this year or so, but it's people all working from the road. I think Heath told us the average age is 42, I think.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a wide variety of ages, but everyone is working from the road or are learning how to make money from the road, wanting to RV and just trying to figure out that funding. And
That's
think,
awesome.
how do I pay for it?
How do I do this?
So they do a great job at that.
Okay, I'll show
Okay.
a fun one. And this is also to do with photos.
Of course.
Not Google Photos though, just any photo that you take and that's on your phone, you can have some real fun with it with this little app called Prisma. It's that black triangle there, Prisma. You just tap it, and then you tap the arrow for gallery, and that shows you all the pictures that are on your phone. And we went to the Museum of Appalachia last week, and they had this great looking gourd. So that's my photo. No, I don't want the pay for version. So that's my photo of this big gourd. Now you have dozens, I don't know, a couple dozen artistic possibilities. All you do is tap on one of the options and it turns your photo into a piece of art.
Some of them are pretty amazing.
Yeah, look, and just look how fast. That's what blows me away. And they are so cool. We took one of our photos. You'll see it in one of our slides. And yeah, this was a photo of us that we ran through Prisma, and that's what we get.
Really
This work of art that is kind of our logo now. So that's mine. That's Prisma.
Whoops.
All right.
I have one, and it's fun for me because I love to grocery shop. I know that sounds dumb, but I do love to grocery shop. But I hate it, especially traveling, having 50 million rewards cards because the prices are always, hey, with card, you can get it for this price and everything. So, but you travel, and I literally had like 15 cards in my wallet from Kroger and Weiss, all those places. So I have a new app called, and I've only had this a few months, and I absolutely love it. It's called StoCard. It's right up there on the top.
So
STOCARD.
StoCard.
StoCard. And what it allows you to do is scan in any reward card, any membership card, any
Loyalty card.
loyalty card, whatever that may be. So now all my grocery stores are in here. So Kroger, Fry's, Martin. I also can put like our Planet Fitness cards. If it has a scannable barcode, when you go to add it, it'll just let you take a picture of it. So for example, if I wanted to add a card right here, there's so many different ones that are automatically in here. So if I wanted a Panera, it's just going to ask me to either enter the card number, or I can hit the camera and just scan the barcode, and it will put the card in for me. But you can also manually put some in. So like my KOA card, that's my number. It's not necessarily a scannable card, but it allows me to not carry my KOA card with me when I want that number. So I've got my 1,000 Trails number. I have it in here.
Yeah.
So even though that's not a card that I would use the scanner for, it still allows me to keep the card with me all the time. The other cool thing about it is once you have your card in there and it identifies that you have rewards or loyalty or whatever, it shows you offers. So you can always see the flyer for that week for any of the stores that you have cards for. So you kind of can see before you are in an area. If you're near a Kroger, it'll show you all the different specials and stuff. So I love StoCard. It has eliminated so many cards and now I don't feel so bad if I'm at a store and they're like, hey, do you want a reward card? And in my mind, I'm thinking no. But now I'm just like, sure, scan it in there, throw the card away, and I'm done.
Very cool.
I don't have to keep all of them.
And yeah, as we travel, we rarely are in the same store twice. So,
Right.
I mean, this is something that is really important for when you travel around versus if you stay in one place and you always go to the same store.
Right.
Yeah.
I use a similar app. It's called Keyring.
I've heard of that one.
And
Yes.
Keyring will do probably much the same
Mhm.
that one does. And you can put it in there and have the so these
So
are
yours
all the
was
ones.
StoCard.
Mine was
StoCard.
StoCard.
Yours is Keyring. They're both free, right?
They're
Yes.
both
Mhm.
free. So I've been using it for several years. And so I have some,
You got your Kroger card and see.
all that stuff is in there. And they can scan that card, and their scanners have gotten better. So used to be they'd have to type it in,
Mhm.
but this is pretty cool. So StoCard, I'll have to look at that one too and see if that's something that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Now I know you have a cool new app.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Tunity. Tunity is an app that will scan a television. Say you're in a sports bar or something like that, and there are going to be, televisions all around. But a lot of times the sound will either be muted or the TV's over there, you can't hear it, and there's too much ambient noise. You can use this Tunity app.
TUNITY.
Yeah, okay. So it's this one right. Can I see it? There it is. Tunity. And you tap that. I don't think I can show it because we don't have a TV here, but it scans the TV.
And this is free, right?
It's free. You do have to set up an account. So you log in or you can log in with Facebook.
Mine's ready here.
Yours is ready? Okay.
Oh,
Oh, yes, you recommended it. It's on there
Well,
now.
I just saw yours said register, and I registered
Okay,
last night, so that's what it'll look
So
like.
the screen comes up, and you put the television screen that you want to view in that rectangle at the top and push the button, and it'll scan it. And you need an internet connection. It'll go out, and it will connect to the internet and figure out what channel you're on by where you are in the GPS. You have to give it some location information, or it gets it from the GPS. And it knows what's available in that area on broadcast and cable, all the different cable systems that are out there. It's uncanny how cool it is. And then the sound starts coming out of your speaker on your smartphone.
It is amazing.
And you could put earbuds.
Sure, you can put earbuds, and it'll even work on your home phone. On your home TV. If you're watching cable, if you're watching a game or news, it's late at night, you can just have your own personal speaker for the sound and have it muted.
That's a great idea. The one
blew
using
me
it at
away
home.
when I saw this and heard about it, because we figured there has to be something that'll do that. We found it. Tunity.
We used it last night.
Yes,
We
we
were
did.
outside of our RV watching a football game. We were kind of back, and in order for us to hear the TV, I really had to turn it up, but then it was kind of interfering with us talking, so Jim put it on his phone and kind of set it right behind us.
Yeah.
And so the sound was like here instead of from way up front. It was,
Yeah.
I love it.
So cool.
Yeah. Penn
Oh,
State
I
still
know,
lost.
it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
It didn't do anything for the
Didn't do
right.
anything for the team. Where are we? Who's
Okay,
next?
well, that was fun.
Yeah.
I think we're done unless we just want to throw out some other ones.
All right.
We could ask for questions. We actually have a person in our live audience. Jean, do you have any questions, or do you have an app that you would like us to talk about? No? Okay. We'll talk to you later.
Okay. I'm looking through the questions here. I don't see anything that's, let's see. Bill asked about clearing the cache. So that goes way on back to the beginning of the show.
Oh, in the storage.
Yeah.
Yes, clearing cache is absolutely something to do on an Android. There's no such setting that I know of on iPhones.
So Androids are better, right? I doubt
Until we get to something that we say iPhones are better. Oh, we have two mixed marriages here.
Yes,
Did you notice?
we do.
You have an iPhone,
He's an iPhone.
Eric, and
I'm an Android user.
and Tami
yes.
has Android. I have iPhone.
And I'm on
And
the
Jim has
Google
Android.
phone Android. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I converted. I used to be an iPhone user, but
I've been
I
an iPhone
converted.
user
Mhm.
before, but I got over it.
yeah, I did too.
I think so I've been iPhone for a couple of years now, and I think that might be enough. I think my next phone, I would like to get the Note with the pen. I'm afraid I won't use it, but you said you did.
I did. The cool thing about it is when the screen's black like this, if you just pop the pen out, you can write on the black screen and it writes and it saves it. So like if he says, hey, write this down real quick or write this phone number down, I just write it on the black screen and it will save it as a note.
Wow.
So that was what I used it probably most for, was just
I did not know
scribbling
that.
notes, and then it saves what you wrote on the black
We're talking
screen.
about the Samsung Galaxy Note. The
I have
latest
a
one is
9,
9.
yeah.
Right. I still have a Samsung Galaxy Note 3, and that was my first one. And I found that I really did not use the pen to its full capability, but it's gotten better, I'm sure.
I would think with you liking photos as well, because in addition, that was the main thing I used it for. But let's say you're editing a photo and you really want to like crop out something very specific and draw, you have a lot more precision. It does work with photo editing software, most of it. You can just activate the pen, and instead of, touching it, it's
So does that, the main difference between the Samsung Galaxy S series and the Samsung Note series is Note means it has a pen. You can write notes. So just FYI.
I have a pen on my new Chromebook that I'm using more and more, specifically for photo type editing, and that seems to be pretty good. I'm not taking notes with it on the screen, but I certainly could.
But you
And
could.
yeah.
And I have a pen with my, what's this book? Surface Book, my Microsoft Surface Book that I paid an extra $100 for. I have never used it.
Right.
My bad.
Well,
my bad.
We'll try and force her into
I
it
know.
sometime later. Anything else?
I think we're good. Thank y'all for having us.
Yes, thank
Every
you.
time we meet
enjoy
up
it.
with you all, I'm always like, what are we going to learn? Because the last time you taught us a lot on Google Photos. Well, that's been a while ago, about it being able to pinpoint where you're at.
The
and
search feature is
the
just
search
incredible.
feature and all that, and then the Tunity this time. And then the thing where it scans the cards.
Yep.
And we use all that stuff whenever we
Yep.
go away with all this new knowledge.
We
So,
do. We learn something new every time we see y'all. So, good stuff.
Warren's asking, how about let's see, where is it?
Apps for gift cards?
Apps for gift cards. Well, anything?
As in purchasing them?
I'm not sure.
Or maybe
if you have gift cards, you can scan.
Oh, okay. So
But you
you
still
have
need to-
balances on them or something?
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
of anything that would.
Okay.
the gift
I've not
card
used one.
is usually recorded in the magnetic strip
Right.
rather than in a barcode.
Right.
So I don't know that would.
And Tom
That would
wants
work.
us to type the names of the apps in so we can put them in later. I'll put those in the chat here, and we'll also have a slide for them when we put this out on Wednesday, or when Chris puts it out on Wednesday.
It'll be in the show notes.
It will be in the show
It'll
notes.
definitely be in the show notes, links
yeah.
and everything.
We'll get all that stuff in there. Oh, for storing, Warren says for storing the gift cards.
got it.
You can certainly take a picture of them and put a little note in there about it, but I don't know that there's a specific app that in either Keyring or the.
I don't know. I don't think they're, like you
If the
said, it's a
dollar amount-
magnetic
type thing.
Yeah.
Can you put
if
it
the
in?
dollar amount is recorded in some kind of a barcode or QR code, then yes,
Then you could.
absolutely.
But I think
Could
it's
you put it
magnetic.
in like a Samsung Pay or a digital wallet?
Ooh, that's
Probably.
a good
Could you?
question.
Because
Yeah.
it's
I think
I
you
mean,
can.
it is a
Gift cards.
card. It is
Sure.
a card. So never
Things,
tried that.
things are getting advanced here.
Boy. Boy, aren't they? All right. Well, we do invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com and search for Geeks on Tour. You guys have a YouTube channel too. What's that?
We do Techno RV.
How about that?
Yeah, I know. Just came up with that all of a sudden.
And like us on Facebook. Again, we are facebook.com/Geeks on Tour. And I think Tami and Eric are probably Techno RV.
Facebook.com/Techno RV. Yes.
Excellent. So, Chris, what's the web page that lists all of our weekly shows?
geeksontour.com, and the menu item is weekly class. Our entire list of archives is there.
Great. And the web page that lists all of our recent newsletters.
geeksontour.com, and the menu item is blogs and news.
I think we have a newsletter coming out.
Sometime this week.
And Eric and Tami, Techno RV, they have a newsletter that goes out every month.
On the first.
On the first.
Right,
Right.
Yes.
And they've been doing that since they've
Yeah,
been
several years.
Techno RV.
And how we shout out to Phil and Tracy. I think they are in England, at home in England now.
Right.
We'll have to try to get them back on the show sometime. Maybe we'll have them dial in next time that we're
Oh,
all
that
would be
together
so
and
much
have a
fun.
true techno geek.
Oh, I think we should party instead.
I don't
Yeah.
know that we want to
This
put
is-
that out.
Well, thanks so much, folks, for being here. It's always great seeing you.
Thanks for
and,
having us.
and they're fixing dinner tonight.
We're cooking dinner.
Yeah,
tonight.
we
Well, Tami
are.
is.
Matter of fact, I'm using
That's
an app right
Uh-oh.
now.
Here's another.
I
app.
have a sous vide that I'm cooking
And
with,
because of them, I have a sous vide now.
and it's got an app on it. So
Lenovo?
And it's
I have a Joule.
Oh, Joule.
and
Okay.
it-
Mine's an Lenovo.
I have Joule, and Joule is telling me right now at 1:31 it is cooking, and I can stop it and start it, and so there you go, another app. Use it.
That's great.
All right. Well, thanks so much. That's it for this week, episode 153. We'll hopefully have you up and edited by Wednesday. I'm Jim,
I'm Chris.
and we're Geeks on Tour.
And
Eric
And Tami.
from technorv.com.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.